Ladies and gentlemen, to honor America with the singing of our national anthem, please welcome Mr. Nate Townsend.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nate Townsend. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the DeVos Fieldhouse here on the campus of Concordia for today's women's varsity contest between the Falcons of Concordia University and your Hope College Flying Dutch. Here are tonight's starting lineups. First for Concordia at 1 forward, a 5'9" junior from Watertown, Wisconsin, number 5, Ariana Littacote. And at 1 forward for the Flying Dutch, a 6'3" sophomore from Holland, number 5, Olivia Voskel. At 1 forward for Concordia, 5'10" senior from Waukesha, Wisconsin, number 24, Ashley Solberg. And at 1 forward for the Flying Dutch, a 5'10" sophomore from Zeeland, number 20, Kennedy Schoonveld. Starting at center for Concordia, 6-foot freshman from Waukesha, Wisconsin, number 10, Cameron Sholiga. And at center for the Flying Dutch, a 6-foot senior from Grant, number 21, Francesca Buchanan. At 1 guard for Concordia, a 5'4" senior from Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, number 3, Bailey Barker. And at 1 guard for the Flying Dutch, a 5'9" sophomore from Grand Rapids, number 22, Sydney Muller. And at the final guard spot for Concordia, a 5'7" sophomore from Mineral Point, Wisconsin, number 20, Clara Chambers. And at the final guard spot for the Flying Dutch, a 5'7" sophomore from Flushing, number 23, Lauren Newman. Head coach for Concordia University is Stacy Brunner-Jones. Head coach for the Flying Dutch is Brian Morehouse. Your officials this evening, Mr. Perry Costello, Mr. Sean Westman, and Mr. Rob Stanaway.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome inside of DeVos Fieldhouse on the campus of Hope College. Steve Binning alongside Carly Van Swoel. We've got 2 matchups here tonight. First for the women's side of things. So, of course, the Hope College Flying Dutch hosting the Concordia Falcons. Teams coming in tonight. Carly was telling me in the pregame they met about a year ago today. It was an 8-point game at the end of that one. The Dutch came out on top 69-61. Concordia from a competitive conference, I mean, just a little bit further west than us. And, of course, we know all about the Flying Dutch. And how competitive the MIAA is. So hopefully tonight's going to be a good matchup. If you missed it in the pregame, Voskuil, Schoonveld, Buchanan, Moeller, and Newman for the Dutch. It's Barker, Liddicoat, Shaliga, Chambers, and Solberg for the Falcons. Opening tip, and Voskuil will win that back to Lauren Newman, and the Dutch will have the first possession of the ball game.
You know, both teams coming off huge wins, Steve. They both won on Saturday in respective tournament games. But one thing that kind of sticks out to me is you see a basket right there, quick basket, which is what Hope is known for, is the Concordia, Wisconsin Falcons. They got out-rebounded 24-32 in their game, which, as you know, I preach time and time again, if you want to beat this Hope College team, you got to rebound. But they scored 21 points off 15 forced turnovers. So it'll be interesting to see how our ball handlers handle the pressure today.
Absolutely. So on their first offensive set, Concordia loses the basketball. Hope with a chance to jump out to a quick lead here. Here's Moeller on the wing. She picks up her dribble out to Buchanan. Buchanan back to Moeller. Voskuil down low, back to the basket, faces up now, goes up with the right hand off the side of the backboard, and then her second chance won't go, but Buchanan grabs the rebound and can't finish. Coming the other way with it is Liddicoat.
And right there, the Falcons got lucky. That's 3 chances that the Dutch had at scoring. They got to finish, but that's something they should not have 3 opportunities at scoring bunnies around the basket.
Shaliga with the left hand goes up strong against Buchanan, but that is just rejected back to the ground. And as we've talked about before, Carly, if you're going to go down into the paint against this Hope College team, I mean, so tall, so long, so many different defenders down there that can do exactly just that, what Frankie did.
Right, if you want to go down in the paint, you got to go hard and try to draw a foul.
Here's Shaliga with it. Back outside to Shaliga. Long 2 won't go. Long rebound comes down to Voskuil. Moeller with it, kicks to Newman. Newman left hand, layup, that'll go. Nice outlet there by Moeller, 4-0 in favor of the Dutch.
And that's one of the huge assets that this Hope team has, is Schoonveld, Moeller, and Newman can all handle the ball really well, so that if any one of those 3 get the rebounds, they're going to take it and go, and the rest can just run the court.
There's another turnover as Kennedy Schoonveld comes away with it. Moeller just forgot the basketball behind her. And then just a little bit of an ankle roll there, a little bit of a grimace from Sydney Moeller, but she seems to be just fine. So one turnover follows another, and Barker will bring it out for the Falcons. Barker goes right, met there by a second defender, and Frankie Buchanan comes away with it. Now Buchanan a little careless with the basketball there as she gives it away, and now Barker back the other direction, goes up with the right hand off the glass. That one goes. Nice play there by Bailey Barker.
And that's a great job by Barker. She made the first mistake, got the turnover, but she got it back and made an easy bucket.
Moeller on the outside finds Buchanan up top. Buchanan on the wing to Schoonveld. Schoonveld drives, now kicks outside to Voskuil. Voskuil puts it on the floor, stopped, tried to pop, but lost the ball. Back to Concordia. Now with an opportunity to get right back into this one. From 3, that one up and good. That's number 5, Ariana Liddicoat.
That's a nice quick shot under pressure. Good poise and control. And this Hope College team looks like they got a bad case of the Butterfingers so far.
Speaking of the Butterfingers, Schoonveld almost lost that one, and then she collects. Now Voskuil outside. Down low to Buchanan. Buchanan underneath the basket. Little reverse move. Nice take there by Frankie Buchanan.
A great job by Frankie. She looked wide at the wing to see Schoonveld. I think that was her intended move at that point in time, but she did a great job of seeing how that block was wide open, squared her shoulders up to get a nice 2-pointer for herself.
Barker picks up her dribble. 5-second count is on, and now we're going to get a timeout here as Bailey Barker just got a little bit tied up there. And I think we'll have a 30-second timeout, so just a chance to analyze what we've seen so far in the first 3 minutes and 10 seconds. And as Carly mentioned, I mean, rebounding is going to be huge, but obviously right from the start, turnover is also going to be big.
Right.
And that's something that you mentioned, this Concordia Falcons team coming away with a lot of forced turnovers in their first few matchups this year. And we saw it, I mean, last weekend with the first couple home games here for Hope. And to be perfectly honest, sometimes they were pretty careless with the basketball.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of times this Hope team, like, there's a lot of athleticism, there's a lot of size, there's a lot of strength on this team, a lot of speed. And I think sometimes they just kind of rely on that, which most of the time you can, but that doesn't mean that you can't take care of the basketball at the same time. You got to use your assets that you have, the strength, the length, the height, but you can't just leave the basketball and make careless passes.
That's right. Out of the timeout Emily Hafman is into the game. See if we don't have any more substitutions.
Gerber and Mormon are in for the Dutch.
Thank you, Carly. Gerber and Mormon in for the Dutch. Off the inbounds pass, here's Barker, and going to be a foul there as Lauren Newman will get whistled for that one. First foul of the game belongs to Newman and the Dutch. Falcons with possession and a fresh shot clock. Chambers goes inside. Now it's Hafman, left hand, kicks outside to Barker. Barker for three. That one up and good. Bailey Barker knocks it down from outside. 8-6.
And Barker in their game on Saturday came away with 17 points. She was one of the few Falcons to score in the double digits, but I expect to see a lot from her and kind of be their main offensive threat.
Pass down low to Kennedy Schoonveld. She's guarded by Hafman and able to get that easy bucket there. Not much really going on down low, and Schoonveld will take that all day. Here's Concordia again from outside. That one high, rebound off the back of the backboard, won't go. That was Chambers with the look. And Litticoat will check back in as Solberg takes a break. Newman looks to the bench, get the signal from Coach Morehouse. Newman up top. Nice pass inside as Kennedy Schoonveld was cutting to the basket. Mormon was looking for her. Schoonveld fouled as she goes up.
And Steve, I think one of the big improvements we've seen, even in the last two games from on Saturday, is just kind of the ball movement and the off-ball movement that we've seen. And just like that, you see a wide-open shot, not wide-open, contested, but Schoonveld set herself up to have a lot of space on that block to get that shot.
Another substitution coming, and we'll get a replay when we get a chance. Ashley Thomas checks into the ball game. Look at that cut and drive by Schoonveld. Again, that nice pass by Jessica Mormon. Second one on its way up and good from Schoonveld. And now Erica Tolbert will check in for Lauren Newman. Drive here by the Falcons. Kicked outside this time to Chambers. Chambers goes back down low to Shaliga, and Shaliga is able to lay that one up and in. So both teams trading punches here back and forth in the early going. Gerber on the outside, goes to Thomas. Now Tolbert outside, thought about it, nice little drop step in with the right hand. That one won't go, rebound comes to Thomas. Thomas tries to get it back up, she does, but it won't go. Shaliga with the rebound.
And Thomas right there took that extra dribble, power dribble, which in some cases can be really helpful, but I think in that moment, if she would have just kind of went right back up with the ball, she would have had a better shot at making that shot.
Hafman from outside, that one won't go. On the ensuing rebound, couple fouls there as Gerber got into Shaliga.
That is her first, team's second. Entering the line for Concordia, Caitlin Foster. For the Flying Dutch, number 4.
Jenny Beckman into the game, as well as Caitlin Foster. Beckman for Hope, Foster for the Falcons. Outside is Foster, guarded by Beckman. Foster goes right to the baseline. Kicks out to Shaliga. Shaliga trying to find Foster on the backdoor cut. A little bit of a 1-2 as we would call it there in soccer, but just gets tossed out of bounds, and checking back into the game is Solberg as Shaliga will take a break.
And that's something that Hope does a really great job of, is they force the point guard to one side, but then as that point guard goes towards that short corner, they get stuck because that help defense comes and takes away that short corner.
There's Ashley Thomas able to get it up from her hip. Nice take there by Thomas. Good pass by Gerber down low. 12-10 in favor of the Dutch. A little bit over halfway in this first quarter. Barker, nice pass along the baseline. That jump shot won't go for Litticoat. And shot from Tolbert in transition won't go. Rebound by Gerber, picked up, nice play there. Mallory Gerber, second chance opportunity. Falcons the other way now. That ball's tipped out of bounds and will stay with Concordia. Inbounds pass, lots of contact there as Jessica Mormon finds the ground. Liticote able to fight through it, now dishes downside to Hafman. Barker out straight away, thought about it, now goes up with the right hand, but lost the basketball on the way up. It was tipped out of bounds by Beckman.
And Hope's just so active on defense that I think for these Falcons, a lot of their points is going to come from transition or just threes in general. I think they're really going to struggle getting that ball into the lane because Hope does a great job of taking that away.
Barker with it, with 4 to shoot. Kicks outside to Hafman. Hafman goes up with the right hand. She got it off, but off the glass and never touched the rim, so that's a shot clock violation.
Entering the line for Concordia, number 20, Clara Chambers.
Clara Chambers back into the game for Concordia.
Number 5, Olivia Vasquez, and number 22, Sydney Muller.
Sydney Muller back into the game, as well as Olivia Voskel for the Dutch. Tolbert to the left side, up top to Thomas. Now Beckman for 3, that one won't go. Long rebound comes down to Concordia. In transition, it's Barker now, left hand. Picks up her dribble, she's guarded tightly by Tolbert. She has to go down low, and that pass out of bounds, so nice defense there by Erica Tolbert. Results in another turnover for the Falcons.
Entering the line for Concordia, number 10, Cameron Shaliga.
Now Tolbert up top to Voskel. Voskel thought about it. Dribbles to the wing and hands off to Moeller. Moeller goes baseline, picks up her dribble. Back out top to Voskel. Voskel puts it on the floor and now goes down low to Thomas. Thomas right hand again. Gets it from her hip, up and good. Nice play there by Ashley Thomas.
And Thomas does a much better job when she doesn't have extra movements involved in her post moves. Nice shot there, right there from the Falcons. But if she doesn't take that dribble, she doesn't have more time to think about it. If she just does it, does a spin move, has good positioning, that's when she gets most of her buckets.
Absolutely. Chambers with a big hit from outside, and like you said, Carly, a nice shot, but also keeps these Falcons in the game, and that's now a couple times they've come up with a big three-point play. Thomas trying to respond with her own shot from 3. That one won't go. Long rebound to Voskel, and then kicked out to Tolbert. Tolbert right hand, lost the basketball. Nice defense by Chambers. Tolbert gets it right back. Couple crossover dribbles. Now her shot from outside. That one won't go, and the rebound is pulled down by 24, Solberg. Solberg with it, picks up her dribble. Tries to go down to Hafman, active hands by Voskel, and that one will stay with the Falcons. See Coach Morehouse really getting into his team now. Wanted Erica Tolbert to pass the basketball in that last possession.
Entering the line for Concordia, number 3, Bailey Barker.
Here's Moeller with it. Right hand, that one up and good. And Barker goes baseline off the glass. Shot won't go. Rebound pulled down by Moeller. Moeller brings it across the timeline, finds Voskel. Voskel turnaround. That one a little bit long. Rebound to Moeller. Moeller grabbed by a couple Falcons there, and now a timeout called by head coach Stacy Brunner-Jones. Another 30-second timeout for the Falcons, and with a minute and a half in our opening quarter, more of a chance to break down what's going on in the basketball game. I'll hand it over to Carly Van Swoel.
Well, I think the Falcons are doing a phenomenal job at staying really active and aggressive on the defensive end and making the Dutch work very hard for the shots and the shot selection that they are taking. But I think the Dutch are doing a great job, more so in the first half of the first quarter with ball movement. They've struggled a little bit in the last minute or so as far as ball movement goes, and they've gotten a little bit stagnant and a little bit less of a team offense going on. So it'll be kind of a key for the Dutch to get their bigs, maybe drop it into the bigs, they can kick it out, just spread things out a little bit, and have their bigs be threats like they've been doing, as we've seen Thomas get a couple quick buckets from her being a threat. They got a lot of size and a lot of length that could really lead to a lot of good points for them. And as far as the Falcons go, they just got to keep up the scrappiness and do something on offense, whether it's run a couple set plays that they have in the repertoire, maybe move the ball a little bit more, but they're a little bit stagnant and not finding those open pockets of space that they need to work with their set offense and when they can run transition.
Thank you, Carly. 3-point from outside. This time the Falcons once again capitalizing after the timeout. Apologize for leaving you there, Carly. We're having a few technical difficulties on the microphone and having some trouble hearing myself and as well as hearing Carly. So once again, apologies to all 88 of you watching now if you're still listening to us. And we've been a little bit absent. We're trying to get some things figured out on the fly, but nonetheless, Hope still in control, 18-16. There's a turnover by Sydney Moeller. And now the other direction as Frankie Buchanan comes up with a steal and now hands it back to Beckman. Beckman in transition goes to Moeller. Moeller cross court to Newman. Newman for three. That one up and good. What a play in transition by the Dutch. Nice pass outside by Moeller, and Lauren Newman won't miss that opportunity from the wing.
And Steve, I think Newman's kind of like a sneaky player. We saw in Madison Gears the last couple years. She scored a decent amount of points, but it never seemed like it. And she always did it in those big moments where they needed a bucket to kind of grow that lead.
There's a nice play by Voskuhl, taking a steal, and with the left hand, misses the layup, and that one's tipped out of bounds by Moeller. Voskuhl obviously frustrated with herself, but she'll have another opportunity. So with 15.1 seconds to go in the opening quarter, Concordia has a chance to cut into this 5-point lead.
And those are the points you want. And I mean, she was on the left side, so good choice going on the left side, but she had a lot of length and she had a decent amount of space on the defender, so if she wanted to, she could have crossed over in the lane to put up that right-handed layup.
Now splitting right through the defense is Liticote, and they're going to get 22 Moeller. And so at the line will be Liticote. It's actually going to be Lauren Newman, and Newman will take a break, so that explains why Erica Tolbert's back into the game. Here's Barker off the transition play. That one won't go. And just like that, time expires in the first quarter. So, Hope with the lead 21-16, as you're probably hearing from our in-house announcer. We'll take a minute break and hear from our sponsors, Lawrence and Vanderswork. We'll be right back.
You know, when you're more than a manager, you're not just saying, "Wow, you came in, thanks for coming in, and you know, this is what your investment did." It's so much more than that. There's so much more going on in their lives than just these investments, and it's good to understand that totality so that you can say, well, you know, I know there's a better way of doing this, or I have a resource. I know, you know, there's some other resources that we can help you with here. So it's not just financial planning, it's serving people. It's serving people and loving on people, and that's very joyful.
Welcome back inside the Voss Fieldhouse. Once again, Steve Binning alongside Carly Van Swol. At the end of one, Hope with the lead 21-16, and I just got to give a shout out to Carly because Carly switched headsets with me. And apparently she is much more enabled on the microphone than I am.
Oh, stop.
We'll be much better this time in the second quarter. And both of these teams coming out strong. Concordia shooting the ball well, knocking down some big three-point plays from outside, and really that's been the difference so far. I mean, 6 of 15 from the field, but that 4 of 6 on three-point field goals is absolutely huge for Concordia. And Hope just 1 of 4, and also 9 of 20 from the field, so a little bit more struggles just in general from the field. So more opportunities, however, for the Dutch. Turnovers, Concordia has handed the ball away 8 times, and Hope given the ball away only 4 times. we'll see if Concordia can improve in that section of the game. And just like that, I mean, curse of the commentator, they throw it away on their first possession of the second quarter.
One of the interesting things about that, Steve, is they've had a lot of turnovers, but I don't know if Hope has capitalized on a lot of those turnovers. They have 7 points off of turnovers, but if you force 8 turnovers, you should a lot more points than just 7.
Good point, Carly. Here's Schoonveld up top to Voskuhl. Now down low to Buchanan. Nice pass by Schoonveld, and Frankie Buchanan fights through adversity and able to get that one up strong with the right hand. Buchanan has 6. Now the other way, it's Chambers. Chambers gets the ball down to Litticoat. Litticoat outside now with Solberg. Solberg for 3, won't go. Rebound pulled down by Schoonveld. Moeller with it on the wing. Cross court to Tolbert. Tolbert, right hand. Now down to Voskuhl, short corner. That one up and good from Voskuhl. Good looking shot from just inside the perimeter for Olivia Voskuhl.
Yeah, Shalita had some good defense on that. She just got caught behind a pick, and that led Voskuhl wide open on the baseline.
Here's Litticoat with it. Ball lost on the floor, a couple bodies going after it, and Moeller eventually came away with it. Before that, there was a whistle from the officials. And this ball will stay, or rather turn over to Hope. Possession arrow favors them. Here's Tolbert bringing it across. And there's a turnover for the Dutch as Litticoat comes away with it. Betcher and Haifman getting ready to check in for the Falcons. Litticoat goes left to Barker, and Barker gets the hand check foul called on Tolbert there. A couple substitutions like I mentioned, Betcher as well as Haifman in, and also making her way up for the first time tonight is Casey DeSmit, a freshman guard out of Hudsonville for the Dutch.
And Casey made her debut this weekend, and Steve, we were very impressed with her hustle, kind of her grit when she played. She's a very physical player, gets things done, made some big-time baskets, so we expect to see some good minutes from her.
Barker back outside, 3 ball on the way, up and good from Haifman. And the rain from outside keeps on coming for the Falcons. DeSmit goes to Moeller. Moeller brings inside now, kicks out to DeSmit. DeSmit puts it on the floor, tries to go baseline, and we're going to get a 3-second violation on Frankie Buchanan.
I think she thought she stepped out just in time, but I think her right foot, just kind of stayed in the lane.
Barker with it. Guarded tightly by DeSmit. Shaliga, guarded by Voskuhl, puts it on the floor, now back outside to Barker. Barker thought about it. Under 10 to shoot. Barker gets inside, little floater, that one won't go. Rebound by Moeller. Moeller trying to push it out and leaves it for Voskuhl. Voskuhl goes up with the right hand, left it short, gets her own miss, and uses the blast this time, able to get it to go home. 27-19. Now the Dutch are starting to come alive. Here's Barker, though, from the wing, trying to get her team back into it. Back iron won't go. Rebound by Frankie. Buchanan kicks to Moeller. Sydney Moeller up top to Olivia Voskuhl. Voskuhl goes down low to Buchanan. Nice cut and great finish. Even better pass, really, from Voskuhl.
Yeah, good vision by Voskuhl. Obviously taller than everyone else, so she can get that ball over top, and good cut by Frankie Buchanan. It's always nice to see your post players have that kind of connection on the court.
Dutch with their first double-digit lead here tonight. Here's Shaliga. Kicked outside to Betcher. Shaliga from 3. That one up and good. So 29-21. Lead cut down to 8. Voskuhl goes down low to Buchanan, and we had a little bit of some tugging and pulling going on. Haifman called for that foul.
Steve, you're going to get a plethora of subs right here.
Yeah, it looks like Mormon, Gerber, and Ashley Thomas, as well as Kennedy Schoonveld back into the game for Hope. Catch up when I can see the numbers, as I don't recognize them by their faces for Concordia.
Foster came in.
Schoonveld going up with the right hand. That one goes on the second attempt. Here's
and then
Foster
I think
with it.
Betcher came in as well.
Here's Barker going baseline. Now kicks it outside. Shaliga, that one won't go. Rebound is pulled down by Schoonveld. DeSmit from outside thought about it. Said no look pass off to Schoonveld. Schoonveld now drives right through the lane. Right hand off the glass. Got the friendly roll. That one falls. Schoonveld has 8 early on, 33-21. Advantage Dutch.
And that's just a good hard finish right there. We haven't seen her drive much in the last couple games. Obviously it's early on, so got to give her a little bit of a break. But I think that's the kind of stuff that this Dutch team needs to do to open up their offense.
Barker with it. Now Foster. Foster with 5 to shoot. Picks up her dribble, goes cross court back to Barker. Barker's going to have to get a shot off. She does. Little runner right through the lane. That one won't go. Rebound tipped around and then eventually comes to DeSmit. DeSmit gathers her dribble. Now looks over her options, leaves it for Schoonveld. Schoonveld steps into her shot. That one up, won't go. Rebound grabbed by Gerber. Gerber underneath. Nice move, but it won't go home. Now the rebound tipped around. Mormon grabs it, takes it right back up. Great play there by Mallory Gerber, keeping it alive for Jessica Mormon. And the Dutch now up by 14.
And Hope obviously struggling to finish, but just dominating the boards. If you're going to get second, third opportunities, it's eventually going to start falling in, and that's just Steve where it's going to come in for the Falcons. They got to box out. They are almost in every single position. They are under the height advantage. They don't have the height advantage. And so you have to box out, otherwise that's just going to keep happening, and the lead is just going to continue to expand.
Taylor Guns checks in for the first time for Concordia. Got a foul this time called on Thomas.
Hope College foul number 25, Ashley Thomas. That is her first.
Thomas is first. Inbounds play coming up here. Get it into Betcher. Now Chambers has it on the floor, steps back into a three-pointer. That one up and good, and Chambers knocks another one from outside. She's got 6. DeSmit goes into the corner, Beckman with it. Beckman back outside to DeSmit. DeSmit fakes left, now goes right. Gerber from straightaway 3, that one long, won't go. Thomas was grabbed, nothing doing from the officials, and Chambers brings it the other way. Chambers thought about the step back again, now goes baseline, kicks back outside. Nice ball fake there. And driving all the way and fouled up by Thomas is 24, Ashley Solberg. Solberg will go to the line to shoot a pair with 3:51 to go in the half.
You know, Steve, I've said a lot that the Falcons need to get the ball inside or drive, open things up a little bit. When you're shooting 54% off three-pointers and you have half of your points off three-pointers and they're going to continue to fall, it's not a bad game to work with, especially on a team where you don't have the height advantage.
Second one goes from the line. Falcons now within 10. Hope maintains a 35-25 lead. Here's Casey DeSmit. Goes right, now kicks outside. Beckman for a 3. That one up, won't go. Rebound pulled down by the Falcons. Caitlin Foster brings it across. Foster now into the corner, tries to go cross court. That pass was almost jumped. And outside, little runner, that one won't go, as Chambers thought better about the three-point try, and now DeSmit brings it across again for the Dutch. DeSmit goes to Mormon. Now Beckman outside. There's Gerber. Gerber lost the basketball, taken away there by Taylor Guns. Nice defense by the Falcons as Betcher brings it across, hands off to Chambers. Chambers kicks down low to Solberg. Solberg right hand off the glass, won't go. Thomas pulls in the rebound, and we'll bring it across the timeline. 2:45 left in the first half. Beckman caught at the perimeter and then tries to go baseline. That one's tipped out of bounds. And a couple more substitutions as Barker, Shaliga, as well as Liticote are back into the game for the Falcons.
Then Buchanan and Voskel for the Dutch.
Thank you, Carly. Here's Buchanan. Spinning, goes up with the right hand. That one won't go. Rebound tipped around and last touched by Mormon. This one will go back to the Falcons.
You know, 2.5 minutes to go. If the Falcons can bring this within a single-digit lead, they got a good shot at making a run in the second half.
Absolutely. Kennedy Schoonveld getting ready to check back in, and that one's taken away by DeSmit. Nice play there, and then Barker's just going to grab her as DeSmit was clear away on the basket.
Concordia falls on number 3.
Coach Morehouse wondering if it could have been an intentional foul there, I believe. Schoonveld checks back in for Mormon.
Number 20, Kennedy Schoonveld.
Here's DeSmit with it. Smith gets the screen. Now goes right. Step back long 2. That one won't go. Rebound by Buchanan. Buchanan able just to walk through traffic there.
Yeah.
Looked like she may have taken a few steps. Don't really know how she moved her body that way, but nonetheless, Frankie Buchanan comes away with another basket, and she's got 10 points.
Yeah, I don't know how you make your way that close to the basket without walking, but in favor of her, I guess.
Kind of a wild play there. Now eventually it bounces out to DeSmit. DeSmit spin move. Now nice pass to Jenny Beckman and 2 freshmen connecting. A great play there by Casey DeSmit, and that brings the Voss Fieldhouse to life.
That's a great job by DeSmit making the move. I mean, the defender was right in the middle, had great positioning, but just by doing that spin move and giving the option of her making the layup, just pulls the defender away, and that makes a great pass and leaves Jenny wide open.
Casey DeSmit comes up with another steal and a scoop pass this time to Beckman. Beckman with no one around. The layup with the right hand will go. And Jenny Beckman quickly has 4 points. It's 41-25 as this Dutch lead is increasing quickly.
And if you're Coach Mo, you got to be so excited about this, that your 2 freshman guards off the bench are causing this much of a hassle on the point guards for the other team.
Barker, that finger roll won't go. And we'll get a 30-second timeout called by the Dutch, as well as a couple substitutions for either team. Looks like Haithman for the Falcons will check back in, and I saw Erica Tolbert going out and congratulate DeSmit. Believe she's going to check back in as well. But yeah, Carly, you said it just a few minutes ago. If the Falcons could get this in within single digits, would definitely be a good situation for them coming out of the locker room in the second half. But very quickly, this one started to get out of hand. Already 41-25, and any team that has to come back from 16 down, trailing this Dutch squad, that's going to be a difficult task.
Yeah, that double-digit deficit is huge, especially like you said, coming from the half, because you know the Dutch are going to continue to score, and if they don't get some defensive stops in this last minute and try to pull it away, or pull away at that lead, they're going to have a very high uphill battle to come back from that.
Tolbert is back in for the Dutch, and Haithman is back out there for the Falcons. Here's Tolbert bringing it across. Buchanan straight away. Goes to Schoonveld on the wing. Now Tolbert with it. 12 to shoot for the Dutch. Now Voskel. Voskel tries to go inside to Buchanan. That one tipped out of bounds and is going back to Hope. I saw Frankie claiming that it hit off a Concordia blue jersey. I think I agree with her. And now Ashley Thomas will check in for Voskel.
So you got 45 seconds left, just a few second difference between that and the shot clock.
Betcher with it. Eventually finds its way outside, and the 3 ball that time from Chambers. Clara Chambers has her 3rd of the night. She's got 9, and she's really not missing from downtown. Shot clock turned off. 15 seconds to go in the half, and Erica Tolbert brings it across for the Dutch. Tolbert kicks to Thomas. Thomas goes to Beckman. Beckman down low towards Buchanan. Buchanan able to catch. Now 6 to go. Cross-court pass to Tolbert. Tolbert puts it on the floor. Has to get a shot off. That one thrown out of bounds as it was trying to go back to Jenny Beckman. And that's just going to do it for our first half as the horn went, but there was also a horn down from Media Row. So at the end of one, it's Hope 41 and the Falcons 28. We've got some highlights for you from Hope specifically in the first half, as well as a few words from our sponsors. We'll be back in about 15 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
At Lawrence and Vanderswart, we're interested in the history of our community. When 26-year-old jeweler Jacob Raven came to Holland in 1889, the northwest corner of 8th Street and River Avenue was already home to the thriving Holland City State Bank. Raven told bank personnel that he wanted to build a clock above the bank to keep the town on time, and it wouldn't cost them a cent. True to his word, Raven raised the funds with donations from merchants and local factories. High above the city streets, the tower was completed in 1892. Holland's clock tower still ticks high above 8th Street, watching over a town that still loves to run on time. Innovation and ambition today can pay dividends for decades. Lawrence and Vanderswart, interested in our history, invested in our future.
Here are your individual scoring stats for the first half. First for Concordia, number 24, Ashley Silver with 1 point. Number 13, Emily Hageman with 3 points. Number 10,
Welcome back inside the Voss Fieldhouse. Stevening alongside Carly Van Swol, getting ready for some second half action between the Hope College Flying Dutch and the Concordia Falcons. First possession belongs to the Falcons. Here's a backdoor cut and a feed by Barker. That one taken away, however, by Voskel. And Kennedy Schoonveld will bring it across for the Dutch, who have a 41-28 lead. Lauren Newman now kicks to Voskel.
Steve, we were looking over some of the stats in between the second and third quarter, in between halftime. And the ones that stuck out to us were points in the paint. Hope has 34 points in the paint, while the Falcons just have 4. And then total rebounds, Hope has 24, while the Falcons just has 10. And that's 2 stats that you cannot have that crazy of a difference between if you want to beat the Dutch.
Absolutely. There's Kennedy Schoonveld contributing to those points outside of the paint, hitting one from 3. One rattled around and then went home. Here's Chambers, who knocked down a few in the first half. There's Barker stepping inside. That was a good look for Barker, but she can't get it to go. And Buchanan rebounds and hands off to Lauren Newman. Newman finds Moeller on the wing. Back to Newman. Newman, couple crossovers, now kicks to Voskel. Schoonveld in the corner, pass down low to Buchanan. Buchanan tried to go up with it, and that one was blocked partially. Now back outside to Moeller. Moeller has to get the basketball, gathers it, and hands off to Schoonveld. Schoonveld with 5 to shoot, goes cross court to Newman. Newman down low to Buchanan. Buchanan with back to the basket, turns and fires. That one pulled down by Chambers. Chambers thought about the stop and pop, now elects to put it on the floor and hands off to Barker. Barker goes right baseline, little floater, that one won't go. Rebound is pulled down by Moeller. Moeller comes right side, kicks cross court to Newman. Newman goes baseline, some good ball movement, and now Moeller for 3. That one in and out. Rebound by Voskel, and now she fights, puts it up off the glass. Up and good for Olivia Voskel. She's got 6.
And that was a great job by Voskel, because she was up at the three-point arc, and she just came charging in for that rebound, had good positioning. And it's one of those things, you got to box out the tallest girl on the floor.
Here's a drive by Shaliga. She's fouled on the way up. I think they're going to get Sydney Moeller. They do get Sydney Moeller. And Cameron Shaliga will be at the line. First one up and good. Replay on the way. Maybe a replay on the way. We're not entirely sure, but the second one from Shaliga up. Going to be short. Rebound is pulled down by Voskel. There's a look at the replay and the foul on Moeller, who got her from behind. Schoonveld from 3. That one won't go. Rebound is pulled down by Barker.
Great weak side box out right there.
Had to be Barker. I mean,
yeah,
by far the shortest girl on the floor, and she came away with that one easily. Chambers straight away for 3, and her hot night continues as Chambers now has 9. So it's Chambers as well as Liticote that have been lighting it up from outside. Drive by Moeller, but she only finds the underneath of the iron. Chambers in transition. Kicks to Shaliga. Shaliga running right at Voskel, and a nice block there by Olivia Voskel, but outside to Barker. Barker moves it, and now Chambers straight away again. My apologies, that was Chambers. That one won't go, however. And now the basketball is on the floor, and Moeller able to kick it to Newman in transition. She's got Schoonveld, nice pass there, and Schoonveld, little floater, that one goes. Saw Newman kind of give Schoonveld a look out of the corner of her eye, and those two know each other pretty well, even though they've only played 1 year together. Great finish there by Kennedy Schoonveld. 48-32 Dutch. Go ahead, Carly.
And that's just the type of connection that this Dutch team has. I mean, Steve, we see them on the court as well as off the court on campus, and they all get along so well. And they hang out all the time. They've really built this good connection where really shows out on the court.
Yeah, there's another nice pass by Schoonveld. Great play by Frankie Buchanan. Head coach Runner Jones trying to get her Falcons back into the game. Nice pass there by Barker down low. Some hard defense and a blocking foul going to be called on Moeller. That will be her second only.
Yeah, she went to draw that charge, but just a half second too late.
look at another play there. There's that block on Moeller. Mallory Gerber, Jessica Moorman, as well as Ashley Thomas back into the game for the Dutch. Number 1, Caitlin Foster into the game for Concordia, as well as Emily Hafman. Erica Tolbert just checked into the game as well. She brings it across the timeline. Tolbert kicks to Moorman. Moorman puts it on the floor, now back across to Tolbert. Tolbert goes down low to Thomas. Thomas, spin move, left hand. That one off the back iron, finds its way home. Nice play by Ashley Thomas. And she actually says, my bad, to head coach Morehouse, so I don't know what she did wrong, but it turned out just fine.
I don't know what the intention was for that. It was a good move, good solid move.
She may have turned into traffic. I mean, that's really all that I could guess.
But, I mean, good finish with the left hand.
Absolutely.
She kept it high, had good vision on the board.
Here's Chambers with it. Chambers tries the bounce pass. That one picked off by Tolbert. Erica coming the other way now.
Good offensive idea. I think it would have been a little bit better if I don't remember exactly who she was passing to, but if there was more of a cut and not just staying there stagnant, to try to open up that lane a little bit more.
Tolbert goes left again. Wide open Moorman in the corner. Now Schoonveld with it. 7 to shoot. Schoonveld puts it on the floor. And we're going to get, is that an offensive foul?
That's going to be an offensive foul.
And they're going to get Ashley Thomas. I don't know if it was a moving screen or what. Maybe we'll get a second look at that.
That is her third, team's third. Entering the line for Concordia, number 15, Sydney Fronick.
Sydney Fronick into the game for the first time. Here, yeah, there's a look at that moving screen, and that's exactly what it was by Ashley Thomas. Shout out to our production crew for getting that. Didn't mean to command you guys, but you're doing a great job. Kicked outside on the wing to Foster. Foster spinning away from Moorman, now puts it on the right hand. That one won't go. Nice rebound inside, but the second chance effort by Guns, or my apologies, by Solberg won't go. And now Schoonveld in transition, all alone, able to finish. And the Dutch's lead increases to 20, 54-34.
Good rebound from Solberg, but she can't shy away from the height in there. She's down in the paint, and she's got to draw that foul.
Barker had a shot blocked by Ashley Thomas, and then Thomas tries to save that one inbounds and ends up really just assisting Barker right to the basket. 54-36 as we continue. Schoonveld on the wing. Just pops inside to Thomas. Thomas collects herself, kicks to Tolbert. And a pass down low towards Thomas. She lost her footing. And now Barker in transition with the left hand, and that one's swatted away by Gerber. Nice play by Mallory Gerber. Here's Tolbert. She finds Thomas. Thomas going right to the basket. And one. That one will go as 24. Ashley Solberg is called for the blocking foul. Just didn't have her feet set. May have been in the restricted area underneath the basket.
Yeah, it was kind of nice that Thomas was a little bit slower to get up, so almost a little bit of a cherry pick play right there.
Right.
But hey, whatever works. Good heads up play from Tolbert.
Absolutely. So Ashley Thomas at the line. Hannah Smith awaits the shot so she can check in. Jenny Beckman's back into the game for the Dutch. That one from Thomas won't go, and the rebound is pulled down by Taylor Guns, freshman from Greenleaf, who also just checked back into the game. Guns up top. Kicks outside to Hafman. Hafman goes down. Nice drive there by Lidicote.
That's just great poise, good move. Good eye in the basket, good placement, way to use the backboard.
Absolutely.
That's the kind of stuff that they need to continue to incorporate.
Gerber, a couple dribbles, and then knocks it down from downtown. Mallory Gerber knew exactly what she wanted to do with that. And hits it from outside. And just like that, with their largest lead of the game, Hope will take a 30-second timeout, talk some things over. But like I said, 59-38, so a 21-point lead for the Dutch. Expect a few different changes in the lineup now. Probably see some players come off the bench. And Carly and I talk about it a lot on the broadcast, but we love when every single player can get in. We've seen it a few times where every single player on this Dutch roster scores. Concordia, a little bit too competitive for that.
Right.
I think they would really take advantage of this Dutch team if they started trying to play absolutely everyone.
Right. But I mean, we talk about it time and time again. Any of these girls on this Hope team could be starting anywhere else.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, they're so deep. They have so much talent on this Hope team that on Saturday, I don't know if it was in the second game against Benedictine, but for sure in the first game against McMurray, every single player got in, and every player except one scored, which is exciting to see.
Here's Liticote with it. Foster outside. Had some music playing in the arena there for quite a long time. Didn't distract the Concordia Falcons.
A little bit like an NBA game.
Here's Tolbert with it. Now outside to Gerber. Back to Tolbert. And you're right, Carly. Was exactly like an NBA game just for a minute there. Gerber outside again. That one's blocked on the way up, but she grabs her own miss and with the right hand just runs it right in. Liticote couldn't believe it. She came over with the block and tried to get away for the outlet, and no one was there to grab the board. Foster.
I think this is a good time for the Falcons to try to exploit that middle a little bit with some of Hope's taller players out.
There's Courtney Barnes and Kayla Russell checking into the game for the first time here tonight.
Barnes still has a lot of height, but it's a little easier to go at 1'6" girl instead of 2 or 3 that are above 6 foot.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's Hafman with it. A little bit of a hand pass there by Hafman, and off the glass. What a move there underneath by Caitlin Foster. Nice spin underneath.
Yeah, and that's what you want to see a little bit more of is those points in the paint. You can rely on the 3 ball, but sometimes it's not going to always stick with you. You're not going to get 3-point opportunities if that's all you've done all game.
Barnes with the right hand. She's fouled on the way up. Was hoping for the and one. Can't get that one to go.
Concordia fouls on number 34, Taylor Guns. That is her first, team's second.
And Barnes will be at the line now to shoot 2. They got Guns on that last foul. First one from Barnes, a little bit long, no good. Checking back in is Frankie Buchanan, as well as Casey DeSmit.
Also number 21, Francesca Buchanan.
Second one on the way, won't go for Barnes, but she grabs her own miss, and now with the right hand, collects her 2 points. So if you can't get it from the charity stripe, might as well do it the hard way. Courtney Barnes just getting it done underneath. Nice play there by the freshman.
And I just think that's an attitude that's instilled in all these Hope players. It's just the tenacity and stick with it. The determination, and they do a great job of staying aggressive on every play.
My apologies to Courtney. She's a sophomore. First year on varsity.
We're allowed to make mistakes too, Steve.
I suppose so, Carly Van School.
Occasionally. Not often, but occasionally.
Here's DeSmit with the left hand, kicks outside to Barnes. Barnes goes underneath. Frankie Buchanan spinning off the glass. Nice move there by Buchanan. She really is just a joy to watch, Carly. She is really incredible at what she does, Frankie Buchanan.
Frank the Tank, I don't know how you stop that.
There it is. The buzzword, Frank the Tank. Coming across are the Falcons, and with the left hand, there's a block, combination block by Courtney Barnes and Frankie Buchanan.
Entering the lineup for Concordia, number 20, Claire Chambers.
Claire Chambers back into the game. Guns with it, loses the basketball. Now Jessica Mormon running away from everyone, hands off to Buchanan, left-handed finish. There she is again. I mean, Frank the Tank, she can't be stopped.
Frank the Tank, she cannot be stopped. There's no big, besides probably Voskuhl, that runs the floor as good as Frankie Buchanan.
No, absolutely not. Another takeaway by Mormon. Shot clock turned off. Here's Kayla Russell. She runs right to the basket. Nice little step through, but then lost the basketball on her way up. And that was last touched by the Falcons, according to the officials. Here's a look at the replay.
Entering the lineup for Concordia, number 3, Bailey Barker.
Bailey Barker back into the game for the Falcons. Off the inbounds play, Russell inbounds. Ball on the floor now, Russell has it, tries to get it off, she does so, found Mormon, but Mormon had it come off her knee, out of bounds, and with 16.4 seconds to go, Kate Majerus will check in. And Concordia should have the last shot of the third quarter. Bringing it across is Liticote. Liticote hands off to Chambers. Chambers' little floater won't go, and that'll do it for the third quarter with your score 67-44. So we'll take a quick break in between quarters to hear from our sponsors, Lawrence and Vanderswart. We'll be right back.
At Lawrence and Vanderswart, we are interested in the history of our community. This farm once belonged to Albertus Van Raalte, founding father of the city of Holland. And this house, built by his son Ben in 1872, has been known through the years as the Maples, due to the large trees in the front yard planted by Van Raalte himself. These trees stand today because of the industry and vision of Albertus Van Raalte. Today, the DeGraff Nature Center taps the maples and demonstrates how maple syrup was made centuries ago. Innovation and ambition today can pay dividends for decades. Lawrence and Vanderswart, interested in our history, invested in our future.
Welcome back inside DeVos Fieldhouse. Steve Binning alongside Carly Van Swole, and while we have a quick second, we'll take a minute to mention 8 o'clock, our second broadcast of the night, will be Carly and I once again, as the men's team here at Hope will be taking on Ohio Northern. All is well in the world, once again. They played Sweet Caroline during the break. Carly and I decided that we're going to get Dippin' Dots after this game before the next. And, the Dutch are in complete control. Here's Courtney Barnes. She takes it up strong. She's fouled by Shaliga.
And you know, Steve, I think it's going to be an exciting game for the men's against Ohio Northern. They got a 6'8" center from Ohio Northern that's arguably one of the best centers in the nation, All-American. So it'll definitely be a great matchup. So stay tuned if you're not sick of Steve and I's voice yet. And if you are, just, press the mute button.
Yeah.
We won't know.
Watch the athletes. Watch, people that you actually want to watch and not have to listen to Carly and I. Here's Courtney Barnes missing the second, but she's one of two from the line on that go-around, one of four on the night. Liticote with it. Looking for an option. She's guarded tightly by Mormon. Now Liticote gets away, and they give her the continuation. Nice play there by Ariana Liticote, a junior from Watertown, Wisconsin. Probably Waterton. Maybe Watertown.
Are you asking me?
I'm just
Waterton.
I'm just talking,
I would assume
Carly.
it's Waterton. I'm sorry. I'm just checking out the stats.
No, you're all good. One on the line from Liticote won't go. 3-point play the hard way. Not this go round.
A couple of the stats that are sticking out to me is that points in the paint, still Hope has 54 points in the paint. Falcons just have 14. Fast break points, the Dutch have 16. Total rebounds, Dutch 32, Falcons 21. In turnovers, the Falcons have 20. And those points off of turnovers has expanded to 26 for Hope.
Mormon down low to Barnes. Barnes spinning, nice move, but can't get it to go with the right hand. And the rebound is now kicked out to Chambers. Chambers guarded tightly by Russell, but gets the baseline. Leaves it there for Haithman. Haithman outside to Shaliga. And Shaliga's pass intended for Barker, but Barker couldn't handle it, and it heads out of bounds. So another turnover for the Falcons. Ball back to the Dutch. We'll see Lauren Newman and Jenny back in the game. Rare that I make Carly laugh from a mistake that I make. Oh, man, ladies and gentlemen, it's just one of those nights.
It's almost break, right? The mind can take a break
We're so
soon.
close to Thanksgiving. Man, just want to be in a food coma on my grandma's couch already.
That sounds amazing.
Here's a pass outside. Shot from DeSmit won't go. Found the glass before the rim, and long rebound comes down to the Falcons. Chambers in transition. Gets the baseline. Little floater. Misses everything. Rebound to Majerus. Majerus finds DeSmit. DeSmit looks over her options, steps inside the perimeter, now pass outside to Russell. Russell finds Majerus. Majerus for 3, up and good. Kate Majerus, the freshman from Sycamore, Illinois, knocks it down from outside. Nice take there. Here's Barker the other way. Barker has the baseline, kicks outside, nice pass. And that one up and good. Ariana Liticote able to respond right away for Concordia. And we'll get a substitution timeout taken here by Coach Morehouse, trying to get all the girls' minutes as Beckman and Newman check back in. Hannah Betcher is back into the game, as well as 34 Taylor Guns. The Dutch have now eclipsed the 70-point mark, and as Carly always says, it's depending on the competition and depending on the game, just how, and I mean competition not based on the other team's level of play, but literally how the competition is going.
Right.
That's usually the point that these women's teams need to get to in order to win.
Right.
Not very common to see a team scoring much more than 70, especially with how competitive all of these teams are.
Right, and Hope's one of those teams where they averaged around 72. They averaged 84 points last year, 72 points the last couple games. But they're a team that will habitually get in the 70s, if not above. So if you're a team, if you hold them to 50-ish points, 50, 60 points, that'll be an interesting matchup. And if you can get yourself over that 50, 60 mark, I know that's a tall task, but that's just what's going to have to happen to beat one of these Dutch teams.
Here's Liticote. Liticote kicks back, and passing out of a shot there was a Falcon and gets it off to Betcher. Nice decision there by Hafman, and really it was last minute, but she was able to pull it off, and she gets the assist. Betcher gets the three-point play.
Steve, you can't downplay the impressiveness off these three-pointers that the Falcons have had.
Jenny Beckman from outside, that one won't go. And yeah, we've talked about it really all night. Here's Guns.
9
it
for
down
15, 60%. That's an amazing stat.
Yes, it is. Here's Barker throwing it off the glass. And like I mentioned earlier, Bailey Barker, the senior, out of Wisconsin. She is small, but let me tell you, the fight in her, it is evidently huge.
Yeah, making a savvy post move right there from a point guard.
Absolutely. Majerus thought about it, gets her defender in the air, steps inside just from the charity stripe. That one won't go. Rebound was in Beckman's hand for a minute, and then she lost it. Bringing it across now is Liticote. Liticote kicks outside to Hafman. Liticote again, fakes right, goes left, puts her shoulder down, lost the basketball, and we'll get a whistle here. And not what you want to see, as Liticote went to the floor, grabbed her head, but she seems to be up and okay. And she'll get a break as Fronick checks back into the game. There's another look, and you can see Liticote immediately grab her head, but like I said, I think she's all right.
She seems okay.
Maybe got her hair
Sometimes that
pulled
initial
on her,
sting,
on her headband a little bit.
Yep.
Can't feel good. Thankful that I have short hair. Here's Barker with the right hand. Drives past everyone. Nice move there again by Bailey Barker. And quietly, she's come up with 13 points here tonight. The senior leader of this Falcons offense. Cross-court pass. Finds Schoonveld. Schoonveld kicks outside to Newman. Nice move by Barnes. She has Schoonveld. Schoonveld wide open three. That one won't go. And for as much of a good night that the Falcons have had from outside, the Dutch have been equally as quiet from outside.
Yep.
Not the best shooting night, at least from long range, for the Dutch. Nice pass there down low by Hafman. And she finds Guns. 73-58. So they're starting to cut into it a little bit. The lead are the Falcons, and Coach Morehouse just wants to talk a few things over. And that'll be a full timeout. So that'll give us a chance to hear a message from the Hope Theater Department. So just a minute, and we'll be right back. back inside DeVos Fieldhouse. Once more, Steve Binning alongside Carly Van Swoel. The Dutch maintaining a 15-point lead over the Concordia, Wisconsin Falcons, with still about half of this fourth quarter left. Things could still be interesting if Concordia gets a few more stops. I don't think we've given them enough credit.
No, not
on the
at
broadcast.
all.
I mean, maybe you haven't. I certainly haven't.
I think they deserve a lot more credit. Scoring 58 points against this Hope team, that's kind of what I was thinking about during that break. If I'm Coach Mo, I'm not happy with the defensive effort of this game. But you have to give a ton of credit to the Falcons and their three-pointers and the type of shot selection that they've had in this fourth quarter.
There's Voskuhl, and that shot certainly wasn't what she wanted from the elbow, and Concordia will take over once more. Barker brings it across, and yes, they very much so are still in this ball game. Here's Barker, nice crossover move, gets it to the corner. Gathered there by Fronick. Fronick goes cross court, and the drive there is swatted away, but collected again by Hafman. Hafman spinning away from a defender now. Goes to Guns. Guns wide open look. That one won't go. Rebound pulled down by Buchanan, and a foul on Fronick as she got caught with her hand in the cookie jar there.
Yeah, good job by Frankie Buchanan. We talk about it time and time again, keeping that ball up. As a post player, that's going to be a huge thing. And if you keep that ball up, you'll get a foul every time. If you bring it down to your waist, it'll be called a jump ball every time.
Solberg checks back in, as well as Clara Chambers for the Falcons. Schoonveld outside. Now Moeller, back down to Schoonveld. Schoonveld goes baseline, back into Voskuhl. Voskuhl thought about it, now kicks outside to Moeller. Moeller puts it on the floor, goes up with the left hand, and once again, that's the second time tonight that Moeller has found the bottom of the basket with her attempt. Here's Barker, short little jumper, that one long. Rebound tipped around, comes to Buchanan. Buchanan lost it on her hip, just like Carly mentioned a couple of seconds ago. That's a dangerous place to hold the basketball as a big. Here's Schoonveld, goes cross court to Moeller. Moeller finds Voskuhl. Now to Buchanan. Buchanan is almost quadruple team down there. Doesn't matter as she just steps right through it, lays it up and in. And Frankie Buchanan isn't up on the big board, but I know she's well into the double digits at this point.
I can check that out for you, Steve.
Thanks, Carly. You read my mind. Getting pretty good at this, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
Barker finds Fronick. Fronick with just over 3:30 to go. There's Moeller. Had the basketball tipped off of her foot. Nothing doing from the officials, and Newman able to pick up and scoops with the right hand, and she's fouled. Lauren Newman lays back on the floor with an exhaustive gasp, but I'm sure that is a breath and sigh of relief.
Yeah, that's a big-time hustle play right there. And Steve, to answer your question, as you see a replay right here of that awesome effort made by Lauren Newman, Frankie has collected 18 points so far.
Yeah, I believe she leads all scorers. Could be wrong.
I'm almost positive that you are
Kennedy
correct.
Schoonveld just behind her with 15. Newman, that one won't go. And
Litico also has 18.
Oh, there you go. So, Ariana Litico.
A quiet 18.
Yeah, she really has had a quiet 18. You know, to be perfectly honest, I think sometimes, and my apologies for you at home, I've mixed up Litico, Shaylaga, as well as Chambers. Three blonde-haired girls that are about the same height, that look similar, and all bring the ball across the floor.
Makes it difficult.
For Concordia.
You think you'd be used to that, being around Hope College.
Yeah, I know.
That's differentiate that a little bit more.
I was going to say something at the beginning of the game. I mean, this Concordia roster, I mean, all these students look exactly like Hope students.
Yeah.
So, surprise, surprise, a school from Wisconsin with a similar background and got similar students there. Who would have thought? Second one from Voskuhl, up and good. Chambers brings it across for the Falcons. Betcher with it, goes cross court. Shot up, that one won't go from Foster. And the rebound is pulled down by Moeller, who brings it the other way. Moeller looking for an option, kicks to Newman. Newman head fake, puts it on the floor. Now she retreats, finds Buchanan. Buchanan goes to Schoonveld. Schoonveld kicks to Newman. Newman down low to Voskuhl, left hand. Nice finish there. And now the Dutch are at 80. It's 80-58. And again, kind of quietly, that lead has crept back up to 22. Shaliga hands it off to Chambers. Shaliga able to grab that pass, now kicks down low to Foster. Foster goes baseline, and that ball came off the foot of Vosco. Doesn't matter. Foster tried to put it up. Couldn't find the bottom of the basket, and Schoonveld grabs the miss and hands off to Newman. Newman in transition, now kicks out to Voskel. Voskel goes to Moeller, and we're going to get a foul underneath.
It's going to holding foul.
Yeah, they get Shaliga that time.
Shaliga, that is her second.
First one from Frankie won't go as we get a look at what got her at the line. From that angle, that actually looked like Frankie Buchanan pushed off of Shaliga, but not how the officials saw it. And we get Hannah Smith back into the game, and we're also going to see
Natalie Cott.
Natalie Cott. Thank you. Just having trouble finding her name on the roster. Natalie Cott, another sophomore from Manistee.
And DeSchmidt will also come into the game.
If you ask my housemate Tucker Marty, he'd tell you that Manistee is 30 minutes east of Onekama. However, if you know anything about Manistee, it is on the water, so it's impossible for anywhere to be 30 minutes east of Manistee. But
he's from Ohio. We got to give him
just a fun anecdote. I mean, the kid has a cottage
That's valid.
up in Onekama.
That
He's
is
been
valid.
going there his entire life, and he thinks that it's 30 minutes east of Manistee. That's a problem.
Yeah, the
Carly.
crutch is off.
Luckily, he's not going into any kind of geography, and I don't think he'll be teaching any of your kids history, so you've got nothing to worry about. Off the inbounds play, here's Chambers from downtown. That one won't go. Rebound pulled in by Russell. DeSmit with it. Goes left. Kicks outside to Majerus. Now caught. Try to get it down low to Smith, and that one is touched out of bounds by a Falcon as Emily Hafman will return for the Falcons.
I think that's a bad habit that might get Hope in a couple binds later on in the season. These lob passes down low. That was more of a chest pass down low because it was wide open in the lane, but some of those lob passes are probably going to get Hope into some trouble later on.
Hannah Smith trying to make a move. Her shot just a little bit strong off the glass. Nice pass inside as Foster takes it to the rack, and DeSmith's going to get whistled for the foul. Yeah, we've been very impressed with a lot of players so far on this Hope roster. Some new faces, whether they're sophomores or freshmen, but just new faces on the varsity roster. I want to talk a little bit more about Casey DeSmith.
Oh, yeah.
Very impressed with her ball handling.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think that's kind of obvious, but someone like me who doesn't know the game of basketball as well as the next person, really just fun to watch. We get to look at the replay and that foul on DeSmith. But it's kind of like she throws something extra in there even when she doesn't have to.
A little extra finesse.
Second one up and good from Foster. Her first few points of the night. DeSmith leaves it for Majerus. Almost to the 1 minute mark left in this ball game. All at this point really is uniform. DeSmith kicks back outside to Majerus. Majerus for three. That one a little short. Rebound by Cott. And Cott gets away from the defense. Now leaves it for Russell. Russell goes baseline and gets the and one. Kayla Russell. Nice play there. She took the contact, and it didn't stop her from taking it up strong. She'll find herself at the line, try to complete the three-point play the old-fashioned way.
And this whole team just has strength at every position, and I think it really does them. Hope College education right there. does them. Hope has done a much better job of my education than that. Does them adjust as being able to have such strong players at every position and having such a deep bench allows their practice time to be so much more efficient. When you're able to go 5-on-5 and have a strong starting five that you would put in a game, but also another starting five that you could possibly throw into a game if you really needed to.
Betcher has it, hands it down to Foster. Now underneath. I think that's Guns. It is Guns, and she lays it up and in. She's got 6 tonight. Nice night for Guns. But Carly, yeah, what you're saying, I mean, there's just not many teams in the entire country that have the kind of depth that we have here at Hope College on the women's side. And really, that does make things difficult for other teams, especially when, I mean, you have to deal with people like Frankie Buchanan and Voskel and all that, and then you bring in a couple other 6-footers off the bench. players like Kayla Russell, Erica Tolbert, who would probably be starting at any other program in the entire country. We always say that. And then, I mean, whatever Coach Morehouse is doing, and his coaching staff for that matter, I know that Courtney Cuss plays a huge role in the recruiting end of things for the Dutch. They just keep it's like a factory.
Yeah.
These girls just keep on coming.
Yep.
And girls that could probably be playing at, some maybe even small Division I schools, but especially some Division II schools, opt to come here and play basketball at Hope College. And a lot of that is just a big testament to Coach Morehouse and his coaching staff. Second one won't go from Russell. And with 9 to go in the game, we'll see if Concordia gets one last look at the basket as Caitlin Foster goes baseline, now kicks out, and the shot is up and no good at the buzzer. That was from Buchholz. And just like that, Hope improves to 3-0. We'll have some replays and highlights for you. Just remember, if you're a Hope fan, tune in for our next broadcast starting just before 8 o'clock as the Hope College Flying Dutchmen open up their season at home against Ohio Northern. The Polar Bears are in town. How about that?
Yeah.
The Ohio Northern Polar Bears. So enjoy the highlights. Enjoy your 40-minute break. And Carly and I will be right back. We'll talk to you soon.